Hey Pisces, this is Perrymore Tarot's daily reading for August 1st, 2024. This is for Pisces. Last shuffle for Pisces. Let's see what's going on. So we have hidden motivations here and we have taking steps. I think you don't need to let everybody know what your next moves are. You may not do that already anyway, okay? But especially if you are doing it, even if it's just, oh, I only told two people, don't tell anybody else, and don't tell those two people the next steps after that. If you, even if you're being asked, there's a reason, and most of the reason is because they might try to talk you out of what you're doing, especially if they know why. Right? Defend that like the, the defend that like your life depends on it. Hidden motivations, yeah. Take steps to change your life, to heal, keep everything kind of surface level, focus on joy. Yeah, don't tell. Yeah, they're saying don't even tell anybody that you're not happy with something. Don't tell anybody what you're fighting for. There's something about gatekeeping your um, gatekeep your purpose, your reason for why. Okay, whatever it is that you're doing, if you're fighting for something, no one needs to know what you're fighting for or why. I don't know. It feels like someone is going to try to uh, challenge your motives, challenge why you're doing something. If you say, "Oh, I'm doing this for a friend," why would you do it for that friend? That friend never did anything for you. Da, 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 da. And they'll challenge you to stop doing something that you already set out to do. Spirit wants you to keep it to yourself. There's something that you've been illuminated to, and you are on the right path. Others will not understand, right? There's a lot of things people get me with that. They always project what they can't do onto another person, right? I would never do that. Well, you're not the one doing it, so why are you worried about if I'm doing it? If you would never, but I would, right? If everybody was like you, nothing would get done. You know what I'm saying? And so there's something, some level of this where spirit's like, listen, don't let anybody talk you out of it. A matter of fact, don't even tell anybody, because someone will try to talk you out of it, and they will come up with really good points to convince you otherwise off of a path, because it seems like you've been spiritually guided and like something has been illuminated to you. And usually when those things happen, it's easy to refute with facts, right? Because a lot of our intuitive messages, a lot of our intuitive downloads, we don't have proof that it's true except for what we feel, except for what um, the response our body has, right? Or the vivid imagery, or the words that were spoken to us that maybe nobody else heard. It's proof enough for you, but for somebody else, they didn't hear it. It's like this, the age old question: if a tree fell in the woods and no one was around to hear it, did it make a sound? Something heard it, you know. But taking steps is the star and seven of pentacles. There's something about you taking steps to invest your time, but also to do this exclusively. Okay, you already know what you're setting out to do. You know what your reasoning is. It's important to do things. No one, you know what I mean. The star has so many meanings, but a lot of times this is about doing things without, like, it's above other people to understand. It's not for them to understand. It's not for others to get. King of Wands, Six of Swords with the professional assistance. This is why this person will stress you out, because they are afraid of doing what you're doing. They expect the worst. This is a person who expects the worst. They may ask you some questions. They may demand answers, but the real reason why is that they are trying to create a distance between what you're trying to do and what they think you should be doing. They're trying to kind of like separate you from your path because they're afraid of your path. Right? This is a vibe of a person, you know, like you want to have a child or something. And then you got somebody on the side, no, not yet. You're too early. And then you're not this, and this is not happening for you. And you got to have a college fund already together. This would be that person just naysaying to the end of days, not realizing that this child maybe you're not all the way where you need to be, but by the time they're 4, you're a millionaire. You wouldn't know that at the time, But if you listen to them, they'll take you far away from your path. I can't stand when people do that. I'm like, be quiet. Like, let people live. Everyone is different. Everyone has a different path. And perhaps poverty is not such a bad thing for another person. College is not the end all be all to life. Like, people don't get these things anymore. It's like I find people to be very lost. And I feel like this person is lost. Like, they don't understand purpose. They just think because I'm afraid of doing something that maybe you shouldn't do it. Because these are the risk factors. This is what may happen. I would never travel there without da 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 da. Because what if this happens and that happens? You're just like, oh my gosh. These are wild hypotheticals that may never happen in life. The vast universe is Two of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. The vast universe is telling me here that you may remember a time when you had more autonomy, more authority over your own life, and that you are reconnecting to that person that you used to be, and that you need to focus on that. Okay. I bet now it's almost like a vibe about, back then I thought this or that about my life and I wasn't happy. Now when I look back, I'm like, dang, I actually had it all. And secretly, you may be trying to get back there. I wouldn't tell anybody what you're about to do, especially if you're revisiting something old or saying, you know what, I'm going to either get back with an ex or I'm going to go back to the way I used to live. And I have conviction about that now, kind of thing. You're making your plans, keep your plans to yourself. Because you got somebody over here who thinks they're a professional over Pisces. It's funny how people feel like they have authority over your life, and it's like if you're so smart, then why aren't you me then? You know what I mean? If you know so much about what I need to do, why aren't you me? Hmm? Oh, you were born as you. Imagine that. Maybe you're the master of your own life, and half the time, none of us are masters of our life. We die not being masters of anything. Many of us, many, right? Because you only barely have, if we're being realistic, barely have 70 years, maybe 80 if you're lucky. Maybe 70 years of trying to learn what took how many generations that we have recorded of knowledge, all that knowledge, and all those maybe trillions of people that ever lived, right? I don't know how many. I'm just throwing out numbers, but I can only imagine. I don't know. I don't even think that could be counted. But look at that, so you'll know that you're just a drop. All of us are just a drop in the bucket of knowledge that's available on this planet. So who is this person to have the authority over you, right? Who's anybody to have authority over you? Just think of this. As long as you're not hurting anybody, and as long as it makes you, like you're fulfilling a purpose that you feel ambitious about, and you're being guided this way by spirit. Who's anybody to judge? It's none of your business. You know what I mean? I mean, if we even go down to biblical sense, as Peter's like, oh, Jesus, I was so worried about you, and he reincarnated, he came back to life, like he just rose from the dead. And Peter over here, I was worried about you, and he was like, man, you need to contemplate your own salvation with fear and trembling, while you talking about me. Worry about yourself right now. Like, I had to do something, you got something to do that you need to be worrying about. Same with anybody else. I don't know how else to put this. I'm sorry, y'all know I get on my soapbox. Pisces, especially with your reading, it's like always takes me there. But either way, you could be dealing with a Leo, an Aquarius, a Scorpio. We also have Aries or Sagittarius you could be dealing with, or Gemini or Libra. So you could be an Aquarius Pisces cusp. We have Libra Scorpio cusp here. Scorpio Sagittarius cusp. If you're not dealing with these signs could also be in your chart. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, my links are on my page. Peace, love, and light. Take care.